Hey, don't let this segment mess our marriage up. I can't really tell you what's wrong with kids, but I can tell you what the hell wrong with parents.
In a dimly lit federal courtroom, where the air was thick with tension and only the scribble of pens and an occasional gasp broke the silence, something unimaginable unfolded, hidden from public view. Just as Diddy's empire seemed ready to collapse, a secret deal was made, one that could flip everything upside down. Sources close to the case now whispered that Diddy, staring down a possible 20-year sentence linked to prostitution charges, didn't just beg or bargain, he had delivered a name, and not just any name: Steve Harvey.
Dishonest, violent, horrible. A promiscuous swinger who lied to and cheated on multiple partners. Incredibly, that's how Sean Diddy Combs' own lawyers described the billionaire music mogul, currently facing serious sex trafficking charges in a New York court.
If true, this move isn't just a betrayal, it's an earthquake, the kind that rattles the pillars of Hollywood, revealing the shadows beneath the glitz. After Diddy managed to dodge the heaviest charges, racketeering, trafficking, forced coercion, his legal team went noticeably quiet. But one thing is certain: being denied bail didn't stop him from making plays behind bars. In return, he allegedly handed over more than just files, think recordings, documents, maybe even live testimony, and all of it directed at a man America associates with family values and feel-good advice. Steve Harvey, TV host, relationship expert, radio king, might secretly be the hidden boss of an underground Hollywood operation. Law enforcement insiders hint that the FBI could make their move on Harvey as soon as Diddy's sentencing this fall. Sources suggest Harvey is being eyed as a major figure in a deep-rooted network of manipulation, pressure, and concealment in the entertainment world. If Diddy really had these files, they reportedly show Harvey's name connected to years of payoffs, silence buying, and elite-level cover-ups involving the who's who of music, movies, and media. The web is allegedly so complex it's been compared to a celebrity-run syndicate, a machine so protected that only federal heat and Diddy's desperation managed to break the code. So now the question becomes, did Diddy give up Steve just to save himself? Or is there an older, colder score being settled here? Some think this goes beyond legal strategy, this might be revenge. And here's where it turns personal. A growing theory online suggests this is psychological warfare. Diddy's history with Lori Harvey, Steve's stepdaughter, was never just tabloid fodder. Back in 2019, the world saw those vacation pics from Cabo, smiles in Italy, dinners with the Harvey family, and assumed it was just a strange fling. But what if it wasn't about Lori at all? What if Diddy was playing the long game? Diddy once said he was protective of her, but what if that closeness was the entry point? Some insiders now believe the relationship was strategic, maybe even calculated. How else could someone get that close to such a tight-knit family? Lori was rising fast. Diddy, mourning Kim Porter, was looking for emotional connection, or so we thought. But with everything we know now about the files, the timing, the silence, it begs the question: was the romance a cover story? Was Diddy collecting intel the whole time? And let's not forget, Diddy and Steve go way back. 2 decades of public friendship, industry dinners, and red carpet smiles. But since the trial, Steve's been ghost. No comment, no support, no nothing, just silence. And according to sources close to the investigation, that silence might be fear, because what Diddy allegedly shared wasn't just names, it was details, locations, staff lists, flight manifests, records that could imply Harvey wasn't just aware of what went on at those secretive parties he may have been orchestrating. Them legal insiders claim the probe into Harvey goes back nearly a decade, linking him to shady talent deals, event sponsorships, and exclusive gatherings used as fronts for behavior the public would never suspect. Diddy's so-called freak were wild enough, but if Harvey's involved, it might be a whole different level.
Well, the things that I experienced with him were monster-like. That stuff almost destroyed my life.
And
what's
even more chilling, reports suggest that some of Diddy's former security team eventually ended up working on Steve Harvey's TV sets. One of those ex-bodyguards has allegedly flipped, now cooperating with the feds. That alone raises huge red flags. Same staff, same secrets, shared blame, and now that Diddy's spotlight is fading, the whispers are turning toward Harvey. Former assistants, drivers, behind-the-scenes handlers, they're talking. One explosive claim, that Harvey's media empire wasn't just about entertainment, it was used to manipulate narratives, bury accusers, and hush the truth. Sources from inside his past operations say Harvey's team had plans ready for scandals before they even happened. That included buying silence, grooming friendly reporters, and spinning the story before it ever reached the headlines. One ex-employee called it a crisis control system that never went to sleep, built on the expectation that one day something would blow up.
Referred to me as Wild King Nights. And what a Wild King Night was when him and a guest would go to a hotel room or be at his home, his bedroom, and they would have intimate gatherings. I would have to go and prep that hotel room, which consisted of baby oil Astroglide.
And then
there's Marjorie Harvey, the wife, the matriarch, the one who recently clapped back at social media over claims of an affair with her bodyguard and personal chef. Marjorie dismissed the rumors as nonsense, calling them foolish lies, but leaned heavily on scriptures and spiritual phrases. That, some say, is often code signaling that things behind the scenes are serious and lawyers have advised silence. But what if the drama surrounding Marjorie wasn't just about infidelity? What if those whispers were strategic smokescreens, carefully timed to distract from something far more explosive, something that would make a cheating scandal look tame in comparison?
Man, Marjorie, the thing that Marjorie's not telling you all.
telling everybody's
Yes,
business? Okay, now don't let me start telling Steve's business. We can't ignore
Let's not forget the cloud surrounding Harvey's past relationships either. His ex-wife, Mary, once accused him of everything from perjury to emotional torment, even spiritual destruction. That exact term appeared in her legal filings. The case was eventually thrown out, but not before revealing a man allegedly capable of chaos behind the charm. And now, with the FBI circling and Diddy's deal still casting a shadow, all we're seeing is a wreckage of old alliances, fake smiles, and long-hidden truths. And at the center of it all stands Lori Harvey, not just the model or the daughter, but possibly the key. Was she just collateral or part of the play? Did Diddy truly fall for her, or was she the bait in a plan fueled by revenge? If it was all calculated, how far does the betrayal go?
I thought he was this clean businessman who rise to the top because he was such a powerful and smart, educated man. I had no idea that he had this other side to him. And when I started to get exposed to his lifestyle, I started to really realize, like, this guy has an addiction. It's not just once every few weeks, it's every day, every hour.
And that's exactly what's
That's what has Hollywood's power players on edge. Diddy's alleged cooperation with the feds didn't just throw Steve Harvey under the bus, it triggered a shockwave. Whispers are bouncing between studio lots and luxury yachts. The question on everyone's mind, who's next? Behind the polished selfies and red carpet smiles, panic is setting in. High-profile agents are canceling press tours. A late-night host reportedly missed 2 tapings officially due to exhaustion, but insiders say it was actually a last-minute emergency legal briefing. A top streaming platform even paused a documentary tied to a well-known family quietly. With no explanation, something big is happening. It's not just fear, it's survival instinct. A Grammy-winning artist posted cryptically, "When masks fall, some faces won't make it through the light." She later unfollowed several names linked to both Diddy and Harvey. Meanwhile, top-tier talent are ditching their PR reps. 3 major celebs dropped their publicists within 2 days. One former manager said it best, "The dominoes have started. Everyone's praying they're not next on that drive."
It was like, wow, for Diddy? What? That was a person that I looked up to. He was a mogul. And I listened to all the artists that he made superstars. And so to have a chance to be able to be signed to him, it was amazing. It was like, oh my God, I'm here. I finally did it.
That flash drive.
And that flash drive, sources tied to the investigation say it's part of the evidence Diddy turned over. It allegedly holds encrypted files, surveillance video, hotel receipts, and phone records covering more than 10 years. And if even a fraction of it is legit, Steve Harvey isn't the only one with reason to panic. Industry insiders are whispering that the contents tie together a powerful network of figures, some known for wholesome branding, others already skating close to scandal. One top entertainment attorney didn't mince words. "Once this leaks, you won't view your favorite stars the same way again." And that brings us back to Harvey, the man who made millions preaching faith, hustle, and redemption. Now, it's his carefully built image that's starting to collapse. That Sultan smile persona is cracking, and what's underneath might not be so clean. Years of allegations, intimidation, silent payouts, shady ties were ignored. Why? Because the man behind the mic told us how to live and love. But if these files are real, Harvey wasn't just aware, he may have been keeping the machine running.
Of coming forward. They've been afraid of what he could potentially do to them within the industry, what he could do to them professionally, maybe even personally. And so yes, it's been a dark secret they've held on to for a very, very...
Steve's empire, his shows, his tours, his product lines were all rooted in public trust. And now that trust is slipping fast. Sponsors are pulling back. Syndication deals, once bulletproof, are under quiet review. A major network insider revealed execs have already held internal talks about pulling his shows. Internationally, if criminal charges follow, the fallout could be massive. And fans, they're stunned. Because Steve Harvey wasn't just another famous face, he was the face of fatherly wisdom, second chances, and transformation. But what if it was all performance? A script masked by charm and power? his defenders have gone quiet. There's no outpouring of support online, no trending hashtags, just silence. Even Marjorie's recent Bible verse posts feel more like battle cries from a crumbling castle than true peace. And every time a vague denial is posted, more questions surface. Did Steve know what Diddy was really doing? Were those lavish parties, those jet-set trips, actually part of something darker? And if he did know, did he stay quiet to protect the brand?
He cornered me. And then he asked me, with his arm up, he asked me, "How you doing?" I'm kind of like, wow, this is what the heck? Very uncomfortable. And then he rubbed his hand down my breast. He said, "If you need anything at all, you let me know."
A legacy now hangs by a thread. According to a former assistant who worked closely with Harvey in the early 2010s, everything was about control. The image had to be flawless. Nothing moved without Steve's green light, especially when it involved his brand. Another exemplary described his inner circle as blindly loyal, trained to deny, spin, and protect at all costs. But that wall of protection is starting to crumble. Voices are emerging. Attorneys are listening. And if even a fraction of Diddy's alleged files surface publicly, it could trigger the downfall of one of the most meticulously shielded empires in Hollywood. What's unfolding isn't just a legal mess, it's a psychological breakdown inside an industry where secrets equal power and reputation means survival. Diddy's supposed betrayal didn't just flip a table, it ignited something raw. Trust, already scarce in elite circles, is vanishing by the hour. Those who once celebrated together at gated mansions and posed in glossy photos are cutting each other off. Old collaborators are scrubbing their digital footprints, deleting photos, disabling comments, and disappearing from the spotlight, not necessarily out of guilt but out of fear. Because here, it's not about who's guilty, it's about who gets named first. Behind the scenes, reps and attorneys are racing for immunity. NDAs are either being ripped up or challenged, and insiders say investigators are receiving a steady stream of new leads, many of them from within the industry. The shift is chilling. Loyalty has been traded for leverage. Stars who once moved in calculated silence are now being cornered, forced to watch their old allies give up names and evidence to stay afloat. The rules have changed. This isn't about saving legacies anymore. It's about surviving what's coming next.
Look at Diddy, for instance. Let's take a look at him. Let's take a look at, he has videos. He has videos of the parties. Now, what I've heard, which I don't know how much of it is in mainstream media, I don't really follow the story that much, but what I've heard from friends that are attorneys, friends of mine that have represented me before, agents and so on, is there's a bidding war going on right now.
The sense of
paranoia is real. Several top talent agencies now report their biggest clients are refusing to attend meetings unless their attorneys are present and vetted. Some are even carrying signal jammers to block tracking or spying. Close friendships have quietly turned into tense standoffs, everyone questioning who knows what and who might have already spoken to federal investigators. This isn't just a scandal, it's a psychological thriller playing out in real time. The fear, it's not just jail, it's public exposure, complete character destruction, and the emotional strain is mounting. Celebrity therapists, especially those in crisis management, say they're overwhelmed not with guilty confessions, but with extreme anxiety spiraling into paranoia. Who's watching? Who saved messages? Should they talk first? In this new climate, betrayal isn't a bombshell, it's a strategy. If Diddy truly cracked the dam open, then Hollywood's elite are no longer trying to protect each other. They're trying to beat the clock. It's every star for themselves now. And that means the next leak could come from anywhere, even someone they once trusted.
So I'll tell you, I don't know how much, I don't like to say things that I know unless I see it. That there's a little difference, you know. But was it discussed? Was there descriptions from people I know that were at those? Yes, but here's another thing. So how many of these big entertainment parties and over the years and everything, with successful as you are, have you been around? Does anyone ever come up to you at a certain hour and say, okay, it's time to go? At those parties they did.
And we can't forget the man at the center of it. All Diddy once crowned hip-hop royalty. Now locked up and waiting for sentencing, he might be holding the blueprint to a truth the public isn't ready to see. Some say he's making his final move, burning every bridge to save his own skin. Others believe he's pulling the whole tower down out of pure vengeance. But if those files see the courtroom or worse, hit the internet, what happens next? Could we witness the collapse of major media empires? Could household names, Grammy winners, talk show legends, and Oscar darlings all be tangled in this twisted network? And how many believed they were untouchable?
I don't know this, but it just seems very suspicious when you go through and you look at in the history of different people that can make you go away if you know. Listen, I've worried about some of the things that I talk about on my show.
Because let's be clear.
Let's be real, the scandal isn't just about Diddy or Steve Harvey or even Lori. It's about a machine, a system that protected the rich, silenced the vulnerable, and chose loyalty over truth. And the scariest question, just how far down does this go? So now we turn it over to you. If what Diddy handed over is real, if this entire celebrity ecosystem is about to self-destruct, who do you think gets exposed next? Whose name will be the next to fall before the dust settles? Are you prepared for the truth behind the faces you once believed in? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And remember, this storm, it's only getting started. Until next time, stay sharp, stay skeptical, and keep watching.